long press,
Mm-hmm.
like all devices with this kind of.
Just,
You can clamp it there.
oh, there you go.
And it doesn't need to be too high. There you go.
Cool.
There you go. Looking good. Let's see microphone. Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
You're framed. You're big, so you're good. We're trying to stand still. How are you, my friend? Long time to see.
Very well indeed. Very busy.
Very busy.
Like a management offsite, which happens to go inside the embedded world.
So let's do the traditional introductions.
Mm-hmm.
Who is Alistair? And you obviously are working for Blues.
I'm fully branded, I like to say.
Tell us about yourself, where you're coming from, what you've done so far, and then we'll talk about Blues.
Okay. So Alistair Fulton, you and I first met at Microsoft, where I spent a bunch of years. I think about 8 actually in total. Starting with building an incubation project that over many iterations and spins, as is the Microsoft way, turned into the beginning of Azure IoT.
So we found Brendan. We'll have you online if you want to.
I was given my spot. You don't want both of us on here.
I don't know. You tell me.
He's much more interesting than me. I mean,
yeah, we'll do another longer one together offline after the event. Awesome.
That's good.
Awesome. See you later.
So yeah, I spent 8 years at Microsoft, a couple of years starting what turned into Azure IoT. I went into Windows Embedded and spent 2 years persuading Windows Embedded that the future was in connectivity and intelligent devices. And then spent a couple of years in M&A in the Cloud and Enterprise division. And then latterly, a couple of years in the developer tools business, helping build developer tools for embedded IoT devices. I left in 2018 or so and went into Hitachi, actually as one of the founding team that built the Hitachi Lumada industrial IoT platform. Senior heavyweights,
Rob Tiffany,
and Rich, and a whole bunch of folks that the fellow travelers. And Lumada was really a product designed to be incorporated into Hitachi's main product line. And that's exactly what's happened. It helped that the sponsor, my sponsor, is now the global CEO of Hitachi, and he kind of took that digitization initiative and really used it to turn Hitachi's strategy around from being, a machinery provider to being a service/solution provider, which is a much overused term. I left Hitachi. Actually, over the years, I started out building solutions that you call IoT today, but then were called machine to machine, even before I went to Microsoft. And before that, I was in cellular, like many of us. But gradually, I went from solutions to building platforms, and then I went down even deeper into silicon. And so I joined a company called Centec to run their IoT division. Probably the most, I'd say, notable/famous product that we brought to market was LoRaWAN. So that was a technology that Centec invented back in 2015. I joined to take that business forward into what is now the leading LPWAN globally at this stage. Left Centec after the Sierra Wireless acquisition and joined Blues. And Blues is a company founded by Ray Ozzie, who coincidentally was the first executive who gave me seed funding and the nod in Microsoft way back in the beginning of Azure IoT. And what Blues does is we are focused purely on solving one problem, and that's the problem of simply connecting any machine to the cloud and rendering an intelligent device. And we do that by providing a multi-radio, abstracted hardware solution that hides all of the complexity of cellular, of LoRaWAN, of satellite behind JSON API. So if you can understand JSON as a developer, you don't need to understand AT commands. You don't need to understand how the device actually works. You just need to be able to write business rules in JSON and the device is connected. So we target companies that make stuff, primarily big machinery, HVAC units, you name it, the range. We're 6 years old. We started out with a very product-led growth model. We then built an enterprise sales force a couple of years ago. And one of the things I've been focusing on is building a partner ecosystem. So at the end of the day, what we build really is, it's a sales tool for partners. If you build solutions and your customer says, how do I connect it? Blues is the simple answer. And I also, my other, I'd say, positioning to partners is we sell time. We sell time, reduced time for development, more time for you as a partner to be able to take on more business, to deliver more value to customers,
Yep.
by taking what's often a 12, 18-month timeline to actually figure out how to build a chip-down connected device.
Yeah, and then get
So-
certified, and then go through all the ISPs and so on to get,
So the hardware we sell is pre-certified. It does everything you need an embedded device to do. It connects to a simple M2 connector. You can swap one card in and swap another card in without code changes. And it includes connectivity. So it comes with 10 years of connectivity in the price.
Yeah. So for now, cellular only, or do you have?
No, we have cellular, all the flavors of cellular. We added LoRaWAN actually about a year ago now. We added satellite a little while after. Same business model. So satellite comes with 10 years connectivity. It's narrowband satellite. And we're gradually expanding the portfolio, not with the aim of covering every single option, but with the aim of providing the right set of tools that customers want to choose between based on business needs.
Okay, and so imagine I have a device. I want it to be, for example, an asset tracker. It's going to be attached to a container. It's going to go out on the road while it's on site. I'm going to have maybe Wi-Fi or cellular coverage. I'm getting out in the wilds, maybe no longer any cellular connectivity there. Switch to satellite, then get back into cellular range, back onto Wi-Fi range. Everything is transparent from the application perspective running on a device. You have APIs, I guess, that makes it transparent. As in
One API.
Send message.
One JSON API.
Okay,
Same message, same code. You need to make some tweaks as you shift in the application logic as you switch from cellular to satellite, say. You may want to make some different choices about power consumption if you're running a battery. But the aim is that you as a developer should be able to make business decisions about how you want the device to function without having to figure out how to actually make the hardware work. Because that device that you described, if you're actually trying to build a cellular device, so you buy a modem from a Quectel or a Telit, you want to add LoRaWAN to it, so you go buy STM's products, or you go buy a chip down from Semtech. You want to add Wi-Fi, you want to add satellite. That is a massively complicated development project. And with Booz, you can get through that process in a matter of weeks. We've seen customers build a POC in quite literally 2-3 days to go from concept to a working device, albeit not production ready, but a working device. And that, honestly, I've spent a long time, in fact, most of my career in this space. And, I've gradually come to the realization that what you do with the data is a solved problem. There are multiple tools out there that's becoming increasingly easier with AI still to actually derive value from the data. AI is a much misused term, though, a lot of time it's machine learning. But you can use these tools to extrapolate and dissect the data more rapidly than you could otherwise. So where the data's going and what happens to it is a solved problem. The time I see customers spending today is still on what we all in the IoT industry, we all consider this to be a solved problem. When you and I were at Microsoft, the data was just going to show up in Azure IoT. We didn't have to worry about how it got there. That's the easy bit. And the reality is that from a technical perspective, it's not easy. From a business perspective, it's not easy. So, one of the things we've done with cellular and satellite is take away the need to have a contract with a provider. It's just included in the cost of the hardware. Even the administration of payment, if you're building a solution that you're selling to customers, you used to have that conversation with your customer where you said, I'm going to sell you this thing. It's going to cost you, I don't know, $10,000 per machine. And then you're going to have to sign up a contract with, Verizon or Vodafone or, good luck with that. Call me if you have any problems. And that's just complexity that customers don't need. They want to just get the damn thing built and get it working. So it is a gradual realization that actually the problem that we needed to solve was simple all along, at least in its scope, but hard in its reality.
So I asked a question to a few of the previous guests, and it might sound tangent or like going in a different direction, but do you see connectivity and AI having any freaking relationship or helping each other or not? We talked about connectivity allowing to bring data somewhere so we could train models. Now we are talking also about running AI down there on the devices. Do you see connectivity as being like fundamental for making that distribution of AI possible?
I think of it in yes and no. I think of it in slightly different terms. If you look at the various technologies that have arrived over the course of the last few years. AI is one of them. It's the one we were all talking about. Everyone's scared of AI because they've seen what ChatGPT can do and they read the scary headlines about how it's going to put everyone out of a job. But if you look at it more broadly, there's AI, machine learning, there's high bandwidth networks that are getting increasingly cheaper. There's things like RISC-V and GPUs, which in some ways were they were the payoff from the cell phone, the smartphone wars. They spun out of that. And if you look at that concentration of different tools, I think that combination is starting to converge in much the same way as technology started to converge to drive the adoption of the cloud. And what that is driving is, when you look at the base of industrial devices around us, devices that are in large part responsible for creating human-caused climate change, those devices were designed in the industrial age. They were modestly augmented when we moved into the information age, but they are still way behind in terms of capability to act as intelligent machines. And what I mean by an intelligent machine is one where the edge and the cloud, the machine and the service is indistinguishable. That the device manages itself, either using edge AI or allows you to optimize how it's behaving using some central form of analytics, sometimes AI, sometimes machine learning, sometimes simple rules engines. But it is all of those technologies together, not just AI, connectivity, low power compute at the edge, all of those things together are probably the best chance that we've got to meaningfully change what is going to continue driving human-caused climate change. Because these industries, and it's the dirty industries around us, mining, power generation, distribution, manufacturing, things that are essential to human life. That if we don't actually deal with the root cause, it doesn't matter how many new devices we come up with that are connected and smart. Honestly, I hate to disparage consumer IT. Consumer IoT is not going to change anything unless we figure out a solution to go back in and retrofit all of those old factories. We're screwed.
Awesome. Alistair, thanks a lot for your time tonight.
You're most welcome. It's always
great catching up.